Good morning, my people, my people. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the last privileges. My people, it was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. Let me first remind you, the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, and or the white man's fame. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you re-enslaved the African American? All in all, it was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. There is nothing particularly interesting that I should bring to your attention as it relates to my protest. And as you know, when I have protested and when I have brought you an update as to what transpired while I protested, it is always my pleasure and my delight to bring to you something of a social nature as it relates to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. My people, the word around town is Jax is going to be closing the doors. And though most of you know who Jax is, but for those who are looking at this video, Jax is one of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' largest department stores. If my general knowledge serves me right, Mr. Jax, who is an Indian by ethnicity, his people came here in the days of the indentured servants in the 1800s. He was a tailor by profession, a Seventh-day Adventist by religion. Mr. Jack, being a tailor, started a very small business in Kingston, selling school uniforms for children going to school. And from that humble beginning, he was able to grow into a department store with several locations within the Kingston area. Jax, which is a play on his title, his real surname, Mr. Jack, have been in business for over 50 plus years. His business was thriving for 50 plus years. They have experienced significant growth. But all of a sudden, like many other indigenous business of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we speak about companies like the Building and Loan, a lending institution, the National Commercial Bank, a banking institution, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Agricultural Loan Bank, PH Vera, another giant in the department store business. PH Vera was so large, you have lumber store, supermarket, bakery, you name it. PH Vera did it, and they were all profitable. Sprott Brothers, who were in business for about 35 or 40 years, and they were all operating profitable enterprises. But all of a sudden, all of these titans of businesses are going out of operation. They're closing the doors, putting more and more Vincentians on the breadline with no job, no employment coming in the near future. I knew Jax was in trouble about 3 years ago because I saw the effort they were making to get people into their doors. They were literally giving away their products with deals and bargain to get people into the door. But what the Jax Enterprises did not take into consideration, it is not that people did not want to buy. People could not afford to buy. So when Jax were giving away these deals, people were so happy that they were able to get things that they needed for very little or no cost. Because Alex Jack and the other members of the management team of Jax Enterprises were trying to bring people into the store to see if they can turn business around. It did not matter what the Jax management did. They could not save their store. Not because of any bad business practices, but because the economy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is so terrible that there is not enough circulating capital in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to ensure that all of the enterprises that operates within St. Vincent and the Grenadines can survive. Many of you have heard me speak about circulating capital, and you have said, Chief, at times you have to break down these terms so that we can understand. Let me take this opportunity to do just that. Circulating capital is the amount of money a country or city has that circulates within it, that aids in living, commerce, and external trade. When people work, at the end of their pay cycle, they are given a salary or wage. They have certain responsibility. First thing they have to do is to pay their rent to keep a roof over their heads. They have to buy food to ensure that they remain nourished. They have to pay their utility bills, light, water, phone, etc. to ensure that they have the convenience of life, which would make it easier for them to get about and do their duties. They will give their family some because their family members also have needs they must take care of. They will socialize with some, and some they will put away as savings, putting up something for a rainy day. When a person gets paid, he does not just keep all of the money. A lot of people benefit from the wages of that person. For example, his landlord gets some, the supermarket gets some, the light company gets some, the water company gets some, his family gets some, the bar that he goes to or the movies gets some, and some is entrusted to the bank as savings. The same thing happens in a business. Let us take a supermarket for example. Everyone have to eat, and we go to the supermarket and we make our purchases. So we spend some of the money we get from our wages at the supermarket. The money the supermarket made is from the circulating capital. But the supermarket have responsibilities also. They have to pay their workers a wage. They have to pay their utility bills, light, water, phone, etc. to ensure that the business is on top and can communicate with their purchasers easily. They have to pay tradesmen to repair broken things when they break. They have to pay people to fix their equipments, and they have to restock and buy new equipments when they're broken. Did you notice something here? The money does not stay in one place. It keeps going from hand to hand to hand. That is why it is called circulating capital, because the money circulates. From our salaries, we spend money to satisfy our needs. In the same way the business spend money to keep their operation running so that they can make more monies. When a worker put monies in a bank as savings, or a business put monies into the bank as profits, those monies are temporarily taken out of circulation. That means there's less money to be spent at the business places. There are three means by which monies are taken out of circulation. When monies are put in the bank as savings, when we import commodities from overseas, or when we send monies away as gift to other people overseas. The more things a country imports, is the less circulating capital available in that country. That means there are less monies to pay salaries, and when there are not enough money to pay salaries, people lose their jobs. When less people are working and less money are circulating, that means less people go to the stores to shop. Less people shopping means less sales and small profit, in some cases no profit at all. The government's main responsibility is to maintain the circulating capital or to grow the circulating capital. The more a country imports things from outside of its country, the less circulating capital is there. This will give rise in unemployment, and a lot of enterprise will go out of business. It is the responsibility of a government to find a way to export much more than they import. When a government is able to export more than they import, what happens? The circulating capital grows. Businesses can expand and employ more people. More people are able to afford the things they need and want. This means that that country is experiencing an economic bloom. When a country imports much more than they export, the opposite happens. Less circulating capital, less money circulating, less spending, greater unemployment, more business failed and had to close their doors. Poverty, homelessness, and crime ensues. Ralph Gonsalves had done such a great mess of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines economy, calling himself a prime minister and saying he is leading a country, that the stores, the enterprises there cannot survive under this condition. Let me tell you, there are many more stores who are experiencing great difficulties, lanes and so forth, and they are trying their best to stay in operation like Jax did, because they did not want to send home the workers, because they know if they go out of business, these people will be doomed. Let me get petty here for a while. I saw a lady on Facebook was celebrating a Jack trouble, and she was saying something to the effect that God don't sleep. Let me tell you something, right? I know Alex Jack, I know Judy Jack, I know the other members of the Jack family. They are not bad people. They are people who love people. Jax Enterprises discuss laying off a large cross-section of the staff, but they refuse because they know that these people depended on them for their living. They depended on them to send their children to school. Yes, the staff would have complained that they should have been paid better, but they don't know what is happening behind the scenes. They don't know that the business has to be profitable in order for them to be paid more. And Jax was not profitable for the past several years. The staff who are complaining, they don't know that they should have been sent home at least 2 years ago. But the management of Jax decides, no, we can't send them home. Let us hold on and see what we can do, if we can help, if we can get things around so that we can keep our employees employed. For all of you who have been attacking the Jax, let it be known that you should have been home at least 2 years ago. But the management is determined that they were not going to send you home. They're going to try to see what they can do to turn things around. So when this lady on Facebook was laughing at Jax because Jax failed, Jax didn't fail. Jax didn't do nothing wrong. Ralph Gonsalves is who failed Jax. Ralph Gonsalves is who failed Sports Brothers. Ralph Gonsalves is who failed PH Very Limited. Ralph Gonsalves is who failed for St. Vincent Bank. Ralph Gonsalves is who failed the building and loans. Ralph Gonsalves is who failed the National Commercial Bank. And what got to me is that she was calling them wicked. She was calling the Jax wicked. This is a lady who is calling honorable people wicked because the economic climate in St. Vincent and the Grenadines cannot support their business and all of the other business that is operating in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They give their workers a fair salary based on the laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What is wicked about that? Everybody, no matter how much money they're making, always feel that they should be paid more. But this is an ungrateful woman. She's calling the Jax wicked. She has been in trouble with Ralph Gonsalves for the past several years. Every minute they're locking her up, taking her to court. She can't get her teaching job back. So what? It's her wickedness. Why she's being exploited and oppressed by Ralph Gonsalves. Let me get petty here. When Ralph Gonsalves raped her as a convent school student, why didn't she ensure that Ralph Gonsalves was put behind bars? Why didn't she go to the police and make a report of rape when she was raped by Ralph Gonsalves when she was attending convent school? Why didn't she That is wickedness. Do you know how many other people was raped by Ralph Gonsalves after you were raped because you kept your rape silent? When you had an abortion, there is nothing more wicked than a woman who will kill a seed of her own womb. When you had an abortion, did you consider that that is wickedness? Did you consider that all of the problems that you are getting from Ralph Gonsalves is because you allow him to go free after he raped you and you actually had an abortion? Come on, people. Think before you talk. Because don't think I don't know. Let me tell you something. Remember, your secrets are safe with me. But when you try to make good people look bad, I will come for you. My name is Chief Strungblood. What I have to say here is, if the members of the Jax Enterprises ever give Ralph Gonsalves monies during the re-election time to get him re-elected, the management of Jax would have paid for the demise of their company. If the members of Sprott Brothers ever give Ralph Gonsalves monies to campaign to get him re-elected as Prime Minister, the Sprotts families would have paid Ralph Gonsalves to destroy their business. If PH Vera ever supported Ralph Gonsalves' political campaign, then PH Vera would have paid for the destruction of his business. And don't worry, that lady is going to get what's coming to her. Like this video, share this video, leave a comment on this video, and remember, there are many more interesting videos like these right here. So go about and peruse them and let me know what are your thoughts. My name is Chief Strungblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am indeed the diaspora machismo.